Hey, what's up guys, it's Teak, and I got a little story to tell you. I'm going to tell you guys the first time that I smoked pot. I could have done pot like a really long time ago back in 9th grade because I'd always hang out with a senior who would do pot pretty much every day, and he'd always offer it to me, but I never took it. So the first time I did it was in March, and that was a few months ago. And I had a basketball tournament up in the cities, which was like an hour and a half away. And I was with, I'm not going to say the real names, but I was with the pothead, my black friend, and a rich kid, and they're all on my basketball team. So me and the pothead were heading up to the black friend's house, which is where we were going to stay. And before we left, he's like, hey man, I'll pay you like some gas money if we can go 20 minutes out of the way to get some pot. And I was like, oh, whatever, man. He finally talked me into it, so we went there. And after we got it, we headed up to the cities, and he lit one up. I didn't really care that it was in my car. And then I asked him a bunch of questions, like what it's like, and he said that I wouldn't even feel anything my first time. And then I asked him how long it would last, and he said 2 hours. So I thought, okay, cool, I won't even feel anything, and if I do, it'll only last 2 hours, which would have been awesome, but that didn't happen. So we got to the black friend's house, and then we slept that first night. We had games the next day, and then that next night was when shit went down. The pothead said, let's go to the rich kid's house, because he just wanted to get out and smoke. So we got in the rich kid's tricked out Suburban, and he had like some sick rims on it and some huge subs in the back. He had so much money. And we were in the big city, so there was so many people around. He was driving around, music was blasting, it was pretty fun. And then the pothead takes out his pot, and he lights it up, and he gives it to me. And I was like, fuck, so I did it. And I held it in, held it in for 10 seconds. And then 1 minute later, I did way more because apparently I didn't feel anything, but I didn't even remember doing the second one. So obviously I did feel something. So I did that. And then we got to Dairy Queen. At this point, I wasn't feeling anything yet. So I was just like, cool, man, whatever. I didn't feel anything. Fuck it. So we got to Dairy Queen, and right away I went in the bathroom. So once I got in the bathroom, that's when I started to feel shit. I was looking in the mirror, and all of a sudden I heard like this fucking someone slamming on the door, and I was freaking out like someone was trying to kill me. And I get out and there's nobody there, so I shut the door. Someone slamming it again. I opened the door really quick, nobody's there. So I was like, oh, whatever, dude, I'm freaking myself out. So I went and I ordered a Blizzard, sat down next to everybody, and I got super fucking paranoid. Like everybody was staring at me, and these guys were laughing, and I thought they were laughing at me. I just got super fucking paranoid. So I was eating my Blizzard, and I had this really tight beater on, and I was just shaking my nuts off. I had no idea that I was shaking so much, but the pothead was laughing his ass off, and again, I got super paranoid, like, why are you guys laughing at me, man? And so we finally left Dairy Queen, and then we went to Taco Bell. I don't know why we did these. They were kind of out of order because dessert should have been last. Whatever, who cares? We went to Taco Bell, and I sat first because I didn't want to order because I was fucking tweaking out, and I told him to get me a Dorito Loco Taco. I thought that sounded really good at that point. So I sat down all by myself, and I just fucking thought everybody was staring at me. So I was kind of giving people mean looks and shit. And then they all came over, and everybody was laughing at me because I was laughing my balls off. And my face was really hot, but my body was really cold, and I was like really scared. So then we left, and I was the first one to get out to the car, but the car was locked. So I sat out there until everybody else came out. So it was raining out. I had no idea that it was raining out. So the other guys start running at the car, which is where I was at. And I thought they were like running at me, gonna attack me. So I was like, fuck, dude, no. So I got super scared. And then there was a lady in the drive-thru who was ordering something. And then those guys were like fucking around with her. They were like, I'll take a large smoothie and some fries and shit like that, you know. And I just yell at the top of my lungs, give me some dicks, just as loud as I fucking could. And they start laughing their ass up. They're like, dude, let's get the fuck out of here, because there's people that could just kick our asses for saying stupid shit like that. So we start driving again, and music's blasting. I'm tripping the fuck out right now. I'm like looking around all paranoid and shit. And then I swear to God that I saw Abraham Lincoln walking around, and he looks at me and like winks at me, and like I got super scared. And then we see these hot chicks walking around. So I was like, hell yeah, man, I'm going to roll down my window and yell at them, say that they're like beautiful or something like that, you know? Something I would normally say. But I rolled down my window, and all I could think of was shit. I yelled shit as loud as I could, and I just had the most pissed off look on my face. and to me it looked like they were super pissed off at me, like they were gonna fucking kill me. So I got super paranoid. I turned to my pothead. I'm like, dude, were they mad at me, man? And I was just super scared. So we finally got back to the rich kid's house, and everybody else went back in the house to talk to his dad. And I'm like, fuck that, man. I'm going in the car. So I wait in the car for a while, and I start calling people. I called like 4 of my friends, and I'm like, guys, you gotta come help me, man. You gotta get me out of here. They're like, what's going on, man? Like, they actually thought that I was in danger, and I thought that I was in danger too, but I was just high. So I was like, you gotta get me out of here, man. I'm fucking so high right now. I'm in the cities, and you know, it's an hour and a half away, so they're not gonna come up there. So they're like, you'll be fine, man. And at this point, like 5 hours had passed. So I was like, what the fuck, man? I thought he had like spiked it or something. I thought he put like some roofies. I had no idea what was going on, and so I was getting super scared right there. So they come out like 30 minutes later, and the black kid drove my car home, or to his house, because I really did not want to drive at this point. And like the entire 20 minutes that it took to get to his house, I just stared at him. The entire time I was sitting in the passenger seat just staring at him with this super pissed off look on my face. And I could have swore that he like kind of turned into an alien, sort of. So we finally got to his house, and then I did this thing where I was like, guys, I wasn't really high, I was just fucking with you. You guys are on punked. There's cameras over here. I start pointing, and then they're laughing their asses off at me. So we go into his house, and his mom was still up, so I was like, fuck, dude, she can't see me like this, because he's adopted by white parents, so they're like really good people. And so I'm just like, fuck. So I run up to his house, and I took a quick shit, and I went to bed. The next day we had a basketball game, and that was probably one of the best games I've ever played of basketball. So anyways, guys, that was the first time I ever got high. The last time I ever got high as of today's date. I'm not trying to encourage you guys to do weed, but if you do it for your first time, make sure that you're not in public. That was my biggest mistake. Make sure you're just like in a basement with a couple friends or something, you know, like they do in that 70s show. I wish that's what I would have done. And then people always ask me like, hey, are you gonna do it again, man? Would you ever do it again? I don't know, maybe if, you know, if I was in a basement, not in public again, not like that. That was just way too scary. It was fun, but it was more scary than fun, so I don't know about that. Yeah, guys, I have a lot of friends that have pretty interesting stories, like the first time that they drank, first time that they got high, and then I have some pretty intense stories of times that I've drank. And I know that people on YouTube have some pretty sweet stories, so if you guys got any sweet stories, add me on Skype, add me on Xbox Live, or send me a PM of your stories, and I'd love to hear them. I'd, you know, make a video with you guys. That'd be cool. So guys, please subscribe. It means a lot. Check out my other videos, thumbs up this video, and I will see you guys later.